Welcome to the Business Spotlight podcast. My name is Kay Cote, and I'm your host for today's episode. And today on the show, I have Sam and Max Spahn, owners of RHR Roofing and Remodeling, as my guests. We're going to be learning about their business, their journey to business ownership, best practices, and challenges that they face to give you that inside look to what it's like to build and operate a business. Welcome, Sam and Max. So great to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, good morning. Good to meet you.
Hi, glad to be here.
Yes, well, it's going to be a great conversation. But before we dive into all things business, I'd love to share a bit about y'all with the audience. So take us back as far as you'd like and share a bit about yourselves.
You want to start?
Sure. Sam and I started our careers in the political realm, and we learned a lot. And while we were there, we started a family, and our direction for our careers kind of took a turn, and we wanted to do something that was local and a little bit more intentional that went with our lifestyle a little bit more as we started our family. So Sam Sam grew up in a roofing household, and you can explain a little bit more about that.
Yeah, no, I originally from Indianapolis, Indiana, native Hoosier. Mackenzie was born and raised in Dallas, and so I came down here to go to grad school at the University of Texas at Austin and to get my public affairs degree. And that's where we went into the political realm in Austin. We both worked in the Capitol there in Austin, and so it just as our relationship grew, and mostly out of COVID, we started playing around with the remodeling side and trying to figure out because a lot of people were at the time because you're stuck in the house.
Yeah.
And so we started messing around with it. I was pretty handy with tools and things like that because of the way I grew up. My dad's been in the roofing industry now for over 40 years. I've watched him work. I did a lot of work with him, whether it was in digging fingers for a septic system or being on top of the roof and pulling nails. Like that's what I was doing growing up. And I don't know, we just got tired of the grind. We were spending maybe 2 hours a day with our kids, and most of that was in the pickup line at the daycare.
Mm-hmm.
And that just we just didn't want to do that anymore. And so one day we looked at each other, we were in bed, and we looked at each other and said, are you done? And she looked at me, she was like, yeah, I think I'm done. And I was like, I think I'm done too. Like, I need something different. And so we started up our LLC, and we had no idea what it was like to run and operate a business. Now, I was COO of a firm in Austin,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a lot of partners and I had a lot of help, and I had an apparatus that was there before I even showed up a decade ago that I could fit into. This was now, we're ground floor. Like, we're building a foundation, and we were going into an industry which in Texas, especially in Central Texas, is so highly competitive. And there are a lot of folks that are dishonest and folks that don't show up on time and things. And we thought that our unique skill set would fit in this industry because we were going to be honest. We were going to lead with integrity. We were going to show up when people called. Like that's 90% of the battle is just showing up when people call. And so we thought, okay, well, we're pretty good at that. If we do that, then maybe we can get in this game. And then here we are in year 4, and the battle continues. But we have learned so much in this process, and I think it was a heck of a gamble. It was very risky, but we're still here.
Yeah,
We're still doing it.
I'm still married.
And we're still married.
That's
Good point.
an even bigger accomplishment. Like, let's be honest,
We added a kid in there too.
Yeah.
So I mean,
she's with us.
it's
oh, you
we're
guys
not
have
going
one kiddo?
downhill.
You have how many kiddos? You have one kiddo?
3.
3.
Three? Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Well,
Yeah.
and that, you said so many golden nuggets right there off the bat, like keeping like to your integrity and especially being on the same page as a couple in business. Like that's really cool. That takes a lot of, patience and all the things. But yeah, there's so many things I want to unpack from that, just the beginning of this conversation. First of all, fellow Midwesterner, I'm from North Dakota.
There you go.
So I get the cold.
Yes. Yes.
Well, so now you're in year 4, correct? Right now?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, like tell me about your team. What's your team look like? How many team members do you have right now?
So currently we have, I would say about 4 team members. Originally it was just Mac and I. I ran the roofing side, she ran the remodeling side. And I can speak specifically to the roofing side. I've been with my crew now for a while. Yeah, it feels longer than that, but
Yeah.
it's been a while, and I was very worried. You're trying to build trust and rapport with folks. You're trying to build your systems, your operating procedures. You're trying to build payment deadlines, and you're doing all of this, and it was just us, and we were kind of doing what we thought was necessary. And this is where Action Coach comes in, right? We joined you guys. It's over a year now, and our team, we've realized we're pretty fun folks. We're open, honest people. We like to have fun, and so we want to have an environment where people can have fun. I used to be in HR. That was one of my backgrounds, and HR always doesn't get, they always say they're the boring people, but I think that we want to have fun with our clients. We want to have fun with our work, because if we're not having fun, like, why are we doing it?
Right.
We could be serious when we need to be serious, but we wanted to have an environment that folks could feel comfortable working here. They can have a good time, and they can be with their families. One of our biggest things as our family-owned business is that we understand the challenges that parents face when it comes to having kids. I mean,
working parent.
Yeah, both of us.
Yeah.
There is no, sometimes she drops off, sometimes I pick up, sometimes it's reverse, sometimes one of us does it for 3 weeks while the other one's doing their thing. And so we allow, we want our, employees and our contractors to feel the same way. If your kid's sick, we get it. It happens. We've been through a myriad of like random stuff. We're like, oh, I didn't think I was going to get that call today because so and so bumped their head into a tree, and they need to be picked up now because they don't feel good, right? And that throws. So we wanted to make it a workplace where people can grow, and that's part of our mission statement, right? We want to have a culture where people can make money to feed their families and to feed the community. Mm-hmm. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can speak to the remodeling side.
Yeah, we have so for our core office, it's the two of us, and we have an office manager, and she's been with us for about a year and a half. And we call her the office wrangler, because I mean, not only is she she's running the office and keeping everything on track, she's also holding us accountable to the things that we need randomly throughout the day and the weeks and whatnot. So we're very thankful for her.
And sometimes that's like a reminder to eat.
Yeah.
Like she has to tell us what to do because you're just moving.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I'm pretty sure this week and next week she has on my calendar to eat lunch.
Just to eat. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Honestly, I mean.
Yeah. Now if I do that, then we're golden. But at least the reminder is there. That's what counts. So on the remodeling side for our teams, we really strive to have the core team that is respected in their trade, knows what they're doing, and is somebody that we trust in our own home. We don't send people to our clients' houses that haven't come to our house. And I think that that's something that you don't see a lot in the trades. We trust them a lot. And when we relay that trust to our clients, it really means a lot to them. The main crew that I've been working with on the remodeling side has been, we've had them on our teams in RHR for 4 years.
We met them before RHR.
Right, but we had them working, in our own home.
Yeah.
They helped us remodel, do some remodel stuff in our home during COVID, and then we moved and they did a bunch of stuff in our new house. And so that relationship was built prior to us starting the company, but it made us feel more comfortable moving forward and growing. So it's a very small team that we have here. We hope to grow it very soon, but we're being cognizant of that fast growth and the challenges that we face with that fast growth. And this is something that we're talking with our coaches about, is how to do that respectfully and cognizant of our financial overview. So yeah.
Well, let's dive into that. How has coaching helped you with that process? Because hiring that's like the next level. It's a threshold. How has, having a coach helped that journey?
We have the phrase that sticks in my head is what is it? Fire quick, hire slow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when we know that there's a point in time that we need to cut our losses, then we need to move on that, because otherwise there's just a snowball effect that could happen when we see these red flags and we don't act on them. Then it impacts the business as a whole. It's not just necessarily that one person or that one team or that one project. So that is one major thing that I've learned this year.
What I think for me, so I guess you can call me also the CFO. So I handle a lot of the finance side. So our coach Andy, who we work with, Andy O'Brien, has become like a business like therapist and watching, because the way our cycles work. So I would say her stuff, the remodeling side, is much more reliable. It comes in steady throughout the year. People want to change out their bathrooms, their kitchens, attic.
It's
attic
not
extensions.
Seasonal.
Correct. With roofing, it's very cyclical. It spikes and it becomes really, really hot and heavy there for a while, and then boom, it falls because it leads with the weather. But I would say, the biggest help for me is like understanding cash flow analysis, understanding your margins and your markup, which was a huge deal for us, and understanding like how we wanted to grow as a company, how to smartly grow. My elementary understanding of business was basically like, hey, if we just get more projects and make more money, like the expense, your problems go away, your small business problems go away. That's not true. I'm here to tell the people who are listening to this podcast, making more money does not make
the problems
does not make the foundation complete.
More money, more problems.
Yeah, more money, more problems,
Yeah.
because you're leading into a lot of things. There's more liability because you're taking on more projects. There's higher expenses. There's how many bodies do I need to bring in to help project manage if that's the thing that we need to do. And Andy and Action Coaches and Tanner as well, and Jody have all helped in helping us understand and grow in a manner that makes sense, because I have a lot of ideas. I have a whole whiteboard full of different avenues I'd like to take and other businesses I would like to do. But I guess it's sometimes you got to calm down and you got to take that time out, which is what the coach is for, and to help understand, because like right now, typically in the wintertime, we tend to your cash flow dips. It slows because the holidays, people don't want to spend. There's all kinds of factors. But now we're seeing reverse now, where everybody is now out of the holidays and now they're ready to roll. Like, okay, well, how do you handle that? Now you're straining your team because you're doing estimates, you're doing consults, you're doing design, you're doing all kinds of stuff.
It really comes down to what I see is when you take a step back, if we don't have the foundation of how we operate as a business and what our morals and values are, then we could go astray. We can run a business, but if we don't have, and we can be successful in the monetary, term, but if we don't have the foundation and if we're not reaching our goals that we're actually intended for the business, then it's all for naught. And so I think that's one of the major things that we've learned, especially over this last year, is when you put down on paper, put it down, mark it down on it with permanent marker, sketch it in stone, that this is the point of why we are here, and this is what we're doing it for. And then remind yourself often why. And that kind of, gets you back on course when you lead astray, when you dip down into the seasonal valleys, then we are able to look back at our foundation and say, this is exactly why we're doing this, so that we can help our families in this time of need, and X, Y, and Z. And so I think that's one of the major things, is knowing where our foundation is and being confident in that in every step moving forward.
And I'll tell you, that frustrates me too, because
okay, elaborate, please.
Yes, because there is so much temptation in the trades, whether it's remodeling or roofing. There are a lot of bad actors out there. It's just and we all have that story, and we've dealt with them, and we've come in behind them. There are ways that you see people cut corners, or that they cut your knees out from under you, and when you're in the bidding process,
I want to know what what her thought of the trades. When you think about having a remodeling project or having your roof done, like what is the first thing that comes to mind when if you would have to deal with that? Is it a good or a bad thought?
It's interesting because I've seen both sides, right?
Yeah.
But I've heard some horror stories from like one of my good friends. He recently told me a horror story about how the contractors walked off his remodel. Like they just left and took the money, didn't
Yeah.
finish the job. He ended up having a whole bunch of stuff stolen because it was open. His home was open.
Oh,
And it's just been a nightmare for him. So, but then I've heard both sides. It's like, but I could see that there's bad actors in every industry,
yeah,
and I could
Yeah.
see like there are those bad actors out there. And then that's
Yeah.
where when you're on the other side of that, on the as the, someone trying to build a reputable business, it can be challenging because
yeah,
you're
Yeah.
fighting against those horror stories.
yeah.
Yeah.
And those are the stories that are more told than not, right? You don't hear a ton of people boasting about, oh my gosh, I had the best experience with this kitchen remodel. It's that's not super fun to talk about, right? Nobody gossips about a good kitchen remodel. It's always about, oh my gosh, this contractor stole this and they weren't on time. So I think that, we have had that in the past ourselves. And every time we go into a project, our goal for our clients and for everybody who's associated with us is to have a better vision of the trades by working with us. I
Yeah.
would rather our clients have even 1% better experience than they did the last time, because that squeaky wheel doesn't need the grease when, we want to make a better name for the trades than it
Well,
has been.
one thing I would point out too that coaching has helped us realize when we went in, I think we went with the naive notion that all trades operate and function the same way. If you just put a
Mm.
set of rules on them,
Yeah.
they will operate the same way. I will say that the way that your culture acts, yes,
Yeah.
those can be replicated in both sides. The remodeling, the roofing side, having an open environment where people can have fun, can do serious work, and feed their families. That stuff's real.
Right.
What we have found out though is that our two sides operate incredibly differently.
Mm-hmm.
She spends 6 to 8 weeks in a house. I spend a day. But I'm doing 6 to 8 weeks worth of work on the back end with like insurance companies.
Mm-hmm.
She's I'm more cyclical. She's more routine. The way that the client interfaces with us is completely different. Hers is a lot of minutia. She's getting deep into the weeds. What color tile?
It's very emotional.
How's the offset?
Oh, yes.
Oh
Home
yeah,
remodels, I can
yes,
So
imagine
yes,
it's details and
oh it is
lots of
wild. So
communication. Yeah. Yeah.
I
And
mean
like roofing, you're like you pretty much you go in, get the job done, where remodel,
yeah,
you're probably working with,
yes,
I mean, more than likely wife of the family, like, all
yep.
right, this tile, this flooring, I mean.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's wild. And you know what's fascinating too on the roofing side? I deal more with the wife as well on the roof side.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
then and usually it's because we're dealing with insurance, but also like the color of the roof, with the color of the gutters,
Mm.
things like
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
And so that's been fascinating to work through. But what I've realized is the way that she takes in a client when she does her client intake is different than the way I take in a client. The way my money moves is different than her. She has 18 vendors, I have three, and so we
Yeah.
could not put the same apparatus on both of them, and that has been incredibly challenging and frustrating because my money moves quicker, hers moves slower. And so, we have to use different sides of our brains to make
Yeah.
it work. And it's working and we're learning better about because we're testing and measuring. That's all we do in coaching, right? Test and
Yeah,
measure.
testing and measuring is a big one with action
That,
coach. And
Yeah.
that really gives you those litmus tests of like, okay, this is working. This needs to pivot. And
yes.
that like, how has that helped you not only in business as business partners, but as a couple? I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
We learn differently.
we
Okay.
are unique.
Yeah.
And we deal with a lot of action coach folks that are husband wife teams. You deal with
Yeah.
a lot of that in there. But I mean, I'm the most blessed man in the world to be able to have
Oh.
Mackenzie
Oh,
as my wife and my partner. It's true
oh,
because
I
it is.
love you guys. Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
you won't believe like how many couples we work with, like in their homes, And they will always tell us, man, I don't know how you do it. I could never work with my, significant other. And I get that. And that's normal. That's totally fine.
But
But
they're not perfect like us.
but but it's
By no
yeah,
means. That was
since
Love you. Oh my gosh.
since day one, it's just
yeah.
it's worked. We respect each other. We can be brutally honest with each other, and it does not offend us.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that about other relationships that I have with friends. Like if they say something that hurts my feelings, like it'll hurt.
Right.
With her, it's a different. Like if I'm being mean, I'm having a day right where nothing's working, nothing's moving, everything's hard. Like why is it doing this thing? And so then sometimes because I'm a high I. If you do the disc assessment, I'm a high I.
Which that is a whole other podcast on its own about
Yeah.
how much we've learned from that
just personality assessment
thinking test.
Yeah.
Oh
my
yeah.
And well, my mood will emanate through the office,
right?
And she will have to put me at full stop, going, "You gotta make a change.
Take
you
a
gotta
walk.
go take a walk. You gotta do something." And I take it, and that's the only way that it works. And also, I mean, Action Coach put a valuable boundary on.
Yeah.
No, when you go to bed, when you're going to bed, there's no business talk.
No business talk.
We're done.
That was hard.
That was very hard. That's mostly where we did our meetings and it just put you in a bad mood going to bed. Why didn't you talk to that person sooner? Why did we lose that lead? Where's the money coming from next month? And that just nobody's sleeping. Everyone's angry. And so we had to put those
definitely some boundaries that we had to set to be husband and wife duo.
Definitely.
I think one of the things that, I mean, it goes back to, I say foundation, but of our relationship, we've always been very honest and not hurtful in the honesty. So I'm saying things to him that will help him be a better person, be a better business owner, a better husband, dad, all those things. I'm not saying it to have a dig. And I think that's what we see in a lot of other relationships where it's kind of like people are talking down to each other, and we make sure that that is not something that we ever do, because it doesn't benefit anybody. It feels good for half a second to, make somebody feel bad. And then it's immediate remorse. Like, why? He's my business partner. How is that helping me at all?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's ever been a thought in my mind to try to put you down in any way.
No.
And I think that's, I mean, we see that it's not normal. This is not a normal. I would like it to be the norm. I would love for other people to have businesses with their spouses and it be this joyous.
And so I'm gonna be honest, like for anybody that's watching this right now or watching the podcast, is like it is hard. Business is hard, and it's for the insane. Like
I'm right there with you. I mean,
yes,
I'm an entrepreneur too. I get it.
Yeah, it is insane. It is hard. You have to have the memory of a goldfish, but you can't forget any of the lessons you learn. Like you have to take enormous risks. Like if I'm having a day, I had one recently where I'm down in the dumps. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, nothing's working. You feel like a crappy dad sometimes. You feel like a crappy husband. You're not spending enough time where you need to be spending time. And that's where she comes in. She picks me up and says, "You can't dwell. Yeah, you will be okay. God did not put us in this position. Did not put us going this far to stop or to fail." The same goes for her. Sometimes, man, she's having one where she's had a rough client day where a client chews you out. You were having a great relationship, and then for some strange reason, they had a bad day. They had a bad day, so they take it out on you.
Yeah.
And she gets down. I'm like, it's okay. Like in 6 months, you won't even remember this project even happened, and let's move forward, right? That's what you're telling yourself. And yes, we remember all the projects we do, but in that moment, you are trying to get past like that hurdle, and that's where our relationship comes in. And
I think also with the coaching aspect, having it so routine, we know that each week we can tell the good and the bad and ask ourselves, what can we learn from this? And then the next week, we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to talk about it again. Yeah. We've said it, we've got it off our chest, and now we've set expectations for the next project to make a change so that we don't do the same thing over and over again. So that's been super helpful.
And this is a very dad like metaphor that I'm about to say, but there's a reason why the rear view mirror is smaller than the windshield.
The bumper
True.
sticker,
Yeah, yeah.
sure.
It's
That,
you're looking.
that's a good one. And
Yeah,
and that's the big thing too about action coach is that the action items to resolve
Right.
the problem
yes,
and pivot or there's tools, right?
yeah,
There's tools.
yeah.
And so well, this has been an incredible conversation. I love your energy and always am wishing you the best in your success. And I have one final question for you
Sure.
and for both of you to answer is what is most inspiring to you today?
Most inspiring.
Most inspiring. I think that I mean, we are resilient people. And I
Mm.
keep saying that word. That's our
That's her
word for this
2026.
year.
That's her 2026.
It is, yeah. I think that it's inspiring to see other people who have gone through the same. We are not unique. People have gone through the same things we are going through. We're just learning it at a different time that they are. And we're resilient. And that's very cool to see, in America in this time where, some people are unsure about what's going on with their jobs and their finances. I think that it's very cool to see other people who are entrepreneurs who want to help others, and it's not all about the big bad people who are taking everybody's money. Like there are people like us who are doing the same thing and trying to just be good people with a good business and helping others in their neighborhoods. And I think that's what this year is about for us, is being resilient, and I think we'll be able to accomplish a lot more this year.
I think what's inspiring to me is like our parents, whether my in-laws or my own, is that they're both blue collar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Her mom owns a salon. Her dad owns a construction business as well, like handyman type business, fix a business. And then my dad was in the industry for a long time, and my mom was a bartender for years. Both have led to different futures, but like they can get up and keep on ticking, and I know that they have experienced the same highs and lows. But I think what's really cool too is that we get to experience it with our kids.
Mm.
And I was able to do that with my folks, and be a part of that. And I don't think my kids right now, hopefully in 20 years, they get to look back at this and, they,
See how far we've
see,
come.
yeah, hopefully, but, they're 7, 5, and 4 months. So, it's, I hope they understand how cool it is they get to be with their parents. That is unfortunately, it's not a normal thing
Right.
anymore. And that's the huge reason we didn't want someone else raising our kids.
Yeah.
And so being able to be with them, and it's frustrating at times for any working parent out there that owns a business. There's, they're not, if they were here right now, they'd be breaking down the doors, right? That's what they do. But, that's inspiring to be able to see like it can work. It does work.
Yeah.
It's literally how many times can you get hit to pushed to the floor and get back up? That's the entire struggle. How many hits can you take and get back up and keep on ticking?
Resilience. I'm telling
That's
you.
Brilliant and good coaches.
yeah.
Yeah, that consistency. Yeah.
The consistency. Well, you guys are wonderful. You've inspired me for the day. I want to get people connected with you in your business. Share
Sure.
how people can connect with you online.
Yes, we have a wonderful website, www.txrhr.com. We have all of our socials down there at the footer. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and sometimes Twitter when we find it appropriate. But we are glad to get connected with people on social media, and we like to connect there. If you want to give us a call too, our phone number is on the website there. But yeah, if we are happy to connect with everybody, and phones are open, emails are open if you want to chat. We also like to give people some advice if they have things that are going on with their house. So we'd be happy to talk with them.
Awesome. Both Sam and Mac, it's been an absolute joy to talk to you today. Thank you for being on the show.
Sweet. Thank you,
Thank you,
Kay.
Kay.